And don't ever come back again!
What do you think? You're the only game in town? Alright, let's see. Here we go, right here. B&S small engine repair. Let's give them a try.
B&S Small Engines, how can I help you?
Oh yeah, I'm looking for a couple of head gaskets. Do you guys carry parts?
Yeah, we have parts. Who is this?
This is your old buddy Ronnie.
Smith?
No, Ronnie Jergenstein.
Oh, we don't sell parts.
Alright, let's try this guy, Richie.
Richie Small Engines, how can I help you?
Oh yeah, Richie, I'm looking for a couple of head gaskets.
Is this Ronnie?
No, not at all.
Yeah, it is. Came up R. Jergenstein on the caller ID. I don't have time for this.
Oh, come on, Richie, you gotta help me out. Oh, dang it. Where am I gonna get parts from? Oh, I need to think of something. Oh, I got it. Yes. Psst. Hey, mister, come over here. You seem like a pretty cool dude. I need to ask you a favor. The guy in there for some reason won't let me in. And I need a couple of head gaskets. You think you could help me out?
No, Take a hike, scumbag.
Oh, come on, guy. I'll throw you a couple bucks for your troubles. Come on.
Look, vagrant, I said take a hike. Now hit the trail before I hit you. Capiche?
All right, fine. I see how it is. All right, I'm going. Need to find an easy target. Perfect.
Pterodactyl here. Today's how-to video is going to be on this here Cub Cadet GTX 1054. The belt keeps jumping off. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little re-engineering and a little upgrading. So there's some things we're going to need. Okay. Problem is the deck keeps jumping off. The deck keeps jumping off. No, the belt keeps jumping off the deck. And first thing I noticed is it's got this stabilizer bar back here that's hooked to this bracket, and that bracket is broke. So some of our problem is this thing is jumping around. Another problem I found was on the belt. There's a burn mark in the belt. This big section right here is burned, which tells me the customer jammed the blade and the engine, the PTO clutch kept spinning on the belt, and the blades weren't turning. It was just sitting there getting smoked. That's probably because he was going too fast and cutting too tall a grass. Now here it's 2018 and people still don't know how to cut grass. Can you believe that? Still can't cut grass to this day. So what happens is when you burn a spot in the belt like that, every time that burn spot hits a pulley, it shakes. So if your deck is shaking real bad, probably because you got a burn mark in it. Now, we're going to do a little upgrade here. Now look at how they got this spring ran to this idler arm. Let me put it back on. Now look at how it's pulling on that. That shouldn't, you know, I'm not an engineer, but I know that it shouldn't pull at that angle. That's stupid. And it's not even stretching the segments of the spring. There's not a lot of tension on it. It's kind of springy. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this spring over here so it's in line with this idler arm. And then that way it'll put more tension on it. So I'm going to take this bolt out here, and I'm going to drill a new hole over here. And what you're going to want to do to find the location is, you're going to want it so the spring isn't rubbing on the spindle. You just want it away. So about right here in this area. And this bolt's no good. I don't know if cameraman can see it, but this spring almost wore all the way through the head of that bolt. Then we're going to upgrade the pulley. Now, for that you're going to need a different pulley, and you're going to need some stuff from the hardware store. Because see, there's a belt guide on here, and it had broke off. And that belt guide goes in that hole and then hooks to here to kind of help keep the belt from coming off. But it broke, and look how wimpy it is. What is that? About 3/16. So I'm going to upgrade to a little bit wider pulley that's got a heavier flange at an angle. And that one is Sten's. This is for an X-Mark 280-402. And there's the X-Mark number. So this is for an X-Mark mower. This is the pulley I'm going to use. It's going to kind of help. Now maybe you don't want to do all this re-engineering. Maybe you just want to change the location of the spring. Might help you to keep the belt from popping off. So I went to the hardware store and I got some 1/4-inch rod. And we're going to need a longer bolt because this pulley's thicker. So I went and got a 3/8 by 3-inch long bolt. And then we're going to use this nut as a spacer, because when we come across the top with our new belt guide, we want it to clear the top of this. So I got a nut. This is a 7/16 nut that slides through the 3/8 bolt. And then get yourself a 3/8 flat washer. Try to get a thick one. This one's pretty thick. That's about 1/8 inch thick. Because what we're going to do is, we're going to put that like that. I'm going to take a piece of this and bend a 90 in it on the vise. I'm going to grind a little flat spot on there, and I'm going to weld it to here. We're going to make our own guide, and it's just going to be a little bit stronger. And then I'm going to open up this hole in this arm to 1/4 inch, so my new rod will fit in there. Now I know what you're thinking. He's probably going to have to jerk his deck off to do this repair. Well, you can get at this arm and take this off without jerking your deck off. But I'm going to have to jerk this deck off because I got to get in there and fix the stabilizer. Alright, so let's get busy. Alright, this is a 5/16 by 2 bolt, so I went and got a new one because, like I said, that one was worn through from the spring riding on it. So I'm going to drill 5/16 holes. Now you can use a little oil on there if you like. I screwed it in till the nut just broke through the other end of the nut on the bottom, and then I'll just tighten it from up here. Now like I said, maybe this is as far as you want to go. Maybe this is all you need to do to fix yours. See how much more it stretches that spring? And it's away. I got it away about 1/8 of an inch away. Puts a lot more tension on it. But maybe you also want to do this upgrade that I'm doing with the wider pulley. So if you do, keep watching. Okay, I got the idler arm off. Now this one was pretty rusted on there. So I had to jerk the deck off to get the nut off, which you may have to do, which, you know, is no big deal. And then I took that stabilizer bracket off. Now you can see it's all bent. So obviously whoever had this tractor whacked something, hit something pretty hard on the side of the deck to do this. Knuckleheads operating power equipment. So I had to beat that straight, and then it ripped the threads. There's threads in here. That's what holds it on. But I'm going to weld nuts on the back. So in order to do this upgrade, you're going to have a welding machine. So we're going to take the pulley off the idler arm. 9/16. And there's a spacer under there. And then that's what's left of their belt guide that broke. But we're not going to use any of that stuff. So if you see, this pulley's going to be real close to what was original. See, it's real close, but this one's just a little wider, and it's got a heavier flange on it, which is going to help keep the belt on a little better. So, 1/4 inch drill bit, we're going to drill this hole out, which I don't need to do because it's already 1/4 inch. They tricked me. Got our 3/8 3-inch bolt and our nut and the spacer. I'm going to put that back on, and we'll tighten this back up. So obviously this hole was a little bigger. And our rod will fit right in there, see? And there's our heavy washer. So I'm going to go over to the vise, and I'm going to bend a 90 in this. Okay, I'm going to put a socket on here so I know where to mark this so I can still get the socket on after I weld it. And then, you know, you're going to want to look here, make sure it's lined up. You don't want to be like this or cut it too short. So make sure you got good equal distance. And I'm going to mark it right there. Then take a hacksaw or the whizzer wheel and cut it off. Alright, I ground a little flat spot on there to make sure it's going to sit on there flat, and then I want to make sure it doesn't rub. And then I ground that zinc plating off the washer. Alright, there's our new belt guide. Now we'll do a little welding on the bottom. Now here's a little tip. Let it cool naturally. Don't take it over to the sink and quench it in water because you're going to make it brittle. So just be patient. Go walk away. Go play with the dog. Go have a cool drink. Let it cool down naturally. All natural. All natural cooling of the part. Okay, I beat that stabilizer bracket straight, and I was going to weld the nuts on, and I decided not to. If you want to weld them on, go ahead. I was only going to weld them on because they had this tapped, this bracket. It's really not necessary. So I drilled out the holes, and I got longer bolts because you're going to need longer bolts when you use the nuts. So now all I got to do is tighten it up. If I use the right socket on the end of the wrench. I like using these gripper nuts. Alright, stabilizer's back on. Now all I gotta do is put the deck back on and hook up the belt. Okay, I got the deck back on, got the belt hooked up. Now I was gonna put a new belt on there, but Junior had sold the last one we had in stock. So I gotta get me another belt. Stenz makes the belt for this. And you can get these parts from ProPartsDirect.net. They're a Stenz dealer. So they'll have that pulley and they'll have this belt if you need it. Okay? And one other thing I wanted to go over about belts and stuff. When I was talking earlier about cutting, you know, heavy grass and burning the belt. And you know what, another thing that'll snap a belt is when you're cutting heavy grass and going too fast, the blades will slow down and you'll get slack in the belt. And then when the blades have a chance to catch up, that's what, and the belt gets tight, boom, that's what snaps the belt. So a lot of times when belts are breaking and you're burning belts, it's because you're doing something wrong. You don't know how to do something as simple as cut grass. Isn't that pathetic? All right, let's fire this thing up. Shaking, that's because of that flat spot in that belt. See how that thing is going crazy? That's probably another reason why the belt was coming off. All right, somebody's here, I gotta go. All right, so keep watching my channel, subscribe. See, there's money here. Subscribe, follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and there's your dinner. There's dinner, I gotta go make money now, bye.
Hey, mister.
Oh, hey, Ronnie. What's up?
I need you to get me a couple of parts from Taryl there.
Why don't you just go in there and get them yourself?
Look, he's being all cranky right now. He doesn't want to see me for some reason, I don't know. I just need you to get me a couple of head gaskets. No biggie.
Alright, sure.
Alright, here's the part numbers and some cash. I'll be waiting off to the side here for your return.
No problem, Ronnie. I'll be right back.
Jeez, where's this kid at? It's been about 2 hours. All he had to do was get a couple of head gaskets. About time, kid. Jeez, what'd you get lost in there?
Here's those sun gaskets you wanted, Ronnie.
Some gaskets? I wanted head gaskets. What'd you do with that piece of paper with the part numbers on there?
Oh yeah, you're right. I must have lost it along the way.
You literally walked 20 feet inside. How did you lose?
What is that Ronnie doing here? Thought we kicked him out. What, has he got that Donnie buying parts for him now? This ain't gonna sit well with Pa. I better nip this now.
Go back in there and exchange these for the right parts, all right?
He's not exchanging anything, Ronnie. I believe it's time for you to fly. Ronnie! I thought I told you never to come back here! Ronnie! What are you doing? I thought I just threw you over the fence! Back over the fence for you! Ronnie! You again? I thought I told you to stay out! Back over the fence!